Now we have two more works to look at by Kandinsky, again dealing with many of the same ideas, but we're seeing it change subtly as we move through 1913. So here we see Improvisation 31, also known as Sea Battle. And this is depicting two boats in battle with smoke and fire rising around them, smoke in yellow and gray, and zigzags depicting waves. So here we have our ships, presumably over here and over here, with our smoke rising up above them, possibly another ship here. We have our water here depicted around the ship. And basically it's chaos and cacophony, looking at sort of the psychological element of these battles. Obviously, it's not easy to tell who's on which side when you're in the middle of a battle. The red in the upper right is flames under the surface of the painting, as if it's about to ignite and explode. So this is supposed to give us that sense of ignition, this sense of something that's about to self-destruct, just like he sees Europe about to self-destruct at the time. Which brings us to Composition VII. And this is his largest work. What we see are motifs of the Last Judgment, the Deluge, and the Garden of Love, which almost cancel each other out. We've got so much going on here, it becomes very, very chaotic. It would take a great deal of time to kind of pick out each individual element. Again, apocalypse and promise of a better world are common themes. Apocalypse and Noah, this idea of destruction, renewal, and rebirth. And of course, in 1913, that makes a lot of sense to Kandinsky because he's got that feeling going on along with the rest of society. And we see many of the images that we're used to seeing in his works. So, for example, if we want to start tearing it down a little bit, we've got this idea of maybe a rainbow. We definitely have a boat here. We've got a sense of impending doom and apocalypse. Just look at this bunch of clouds in the upper left. We've got the sense of a mountain. You must have a mountain in Noah because that is the end of the crisis. That gives us the ability to have a renewal. We also have these brighter colors that develop from time to time. Here we have sort of a hopeless, dull, subdued series of colors, whereas when we move up towards the middle here, it gives us a sense of promise and hope for the future. So Kandinsky can be tricky to deal with, and by getting rid of the title as a narrative element, as something that's going to tell us something about the piece, what he does is he forces us to interpret it. Now, at least in Kandinsky's case, he's consistent with his images and with his shapes, so you can study it like a language, you can read it like a book. Later artists won't do quite the same thing as they move down the road of abstraction.